In a world where relationships, whether personal or professional, form the intricate tapestry of our lives, understanding the dynamics of individuals who exclusively exploit and remain indifferent becomes crucial. This comprehensive exploration delves into the attitudes of 10 people who only use you and showcase an alarming lack of concern for your well-being. The fair-weather friend. Identifying a fair-weather friend amidst the crowd can be a challenging endeavor. These individuals often surface when times are good, seeking your company and assistance, but conveniently disappearing when the storm clouds gather. Their attitude revolves around exploiting your resources without reciprocation. Impact on mental well-being. The emotional toll of dealing with such fair-weather friends can be substantial. Constantly feeling used and unappreciated can lead to heightened stress levels, anxiety, and a sense of loneliness. Understanding their attitudes is crucial for maintaining one's mental health. Opportunistic behavior. Unveiled. Opportunists are individuals who seize every chance to exploit your skills, connections, or resources. Their approach is strategic, often leaving you with the feeling of being taken advantage of, as they navigate through relationships with a clear agenda. Coping strategies. Coping with opportunists involves setting clear boundaries and being discerning about sharing personal or professional assets. Recognizing the signs early on allows you to mitigate the impact and protect yourself from potential harm. A one-way street takers are characterized by their incessant desire to receive without giving back. Whether it's time, support, or tangible resources, their attitudes are rooted in a self-centered approach that disregards your needs. Establishing boundaries. Effectively dealing with a taker requires the establishment of firm boundaries. Communicate your expectations clearly and be prepared to distance yourself if necessary. Understanding the nuances of their attitudes empowers you to maintain a healthier relationship. Constant negativity. Emotional drainers thrive on negativity and often seek your company solely as an outlet for their own emotional baggage. Their attitudes can be exhausting, leaving you drained and emotionally fatigued. Self-preservation techniques. Navigating relationships with emotional drainers necessitates self-preservation techniques. Learning to say no, prioritizing your emotional well-being, and encouraging them to seek professional help are essential strategies. Calculated exploitation. Zero users are individuals who approach relationships with a calculated mindset, exploiting your skills or resources without any genuine regard for your feelings. Unveiling their attitudes is imperative for protecting your interests. Red flags. Recognizing red flags, such as a consistent pattern of taking without reciprocity, is crucial when dealing with users. Learning to assert yourself and communicate your boundaries effectively is paramount in preventing exploitation. Draining positivity. Energy vampires feed off positive energy, leaving you depleted and devoid of enthusiasm. Understanding their attitudes involves recognizing the subtle ways they sap your energy and learning to shield yourself from their influence. Positivity shields. Building positivity shields involves cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness and adopting practices that replenish your energy. Surrounding yourself with uplifting influences can counteract the draining effects of energy vampires. Manipulative tactics. Exploiters use manipulative tactics to get what they want, often leaving you feeling deceived and used. Identifying their attitudes involves dissecting their manipulative strategies and safeguarding yourself against their schemes. Empowerment through awareness. Empowerment comes through awareness. Understanding the exploiter's mindset allows you to navigate relationships with heightened caution, minimizing the risk of falling victim to their manipulative tactics. Professional exploitation. Fair-weather colleagues exploit professional relationships for personal gain, often leaving you to bear the brunt of their self-serving agendas. Recognizing their attitudes is pivotal in safeguarding your professional reputation. Professional boundaries. Establishing professional boundaries is key when dealing with fair-weather colleagues. Learning to prioritize your professional interests and discerning between genuine collaboration and exploitation is imperative for sustained success. Covert manipulation. Silent abusers employ covert manipulation to control and exploit without overt confrontation. Unraveling their attitudes requires a keen understanding of their subtle tactics and a commitment to breaking free from their influence. Breaking the silence, breaking free from the clutches of a silent abuser, involves speaking up, setting boundaries, and seeking support. Understanding the intricacies of their attitudes enables you to reclaim control over your life. Adapting to exploitation. Survivors are adept at adapting to their surroundings, often exploiting others without remorse. Their attitudes are characterized by a relentless pursuit of self-interest, leaving you grappling with the aftermath of their calculated actions. Navigating the terrain. Surviving the onslaught of a manipulative survivor involves strategic navigation. Understanding their attitudes equips you with the foresight to anticipate their moves, enabling you to protect yourself from their exploitative tendencies. Centered on self, egoists revolve around the axis of self, often using others as stepping stones for personal gain. Unraveling their attitudes involves dissecting their inflated sense of self-worth and discerning between genuine interactions and self-serving maneuvers. Preserving self-worth. Preserving your self-worth. When dealing with egoists requires a steadfast commitment to valuing your contributions. Recognizing the signs of egotistical attitudes enables you to navigate relationships with a healthy balance of self-respect and assertiveness. Perpetual dissatisfaction. Chronic complainers thrive on perpetual dissatisfaction, using your time and energy as a sounding board for their grievances. Understanding their attitudes involves decoding their persistent negativity and finding ways to maintain your positivity in the face of constant complaints. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries with chronic complainers is essential for preserving your mental and emotional well-being. Learning to empathize without internalizing their negativity empowers you to maintain a healthier balance in the relationship. Mastering emotional strings. Emotional manipulators are adept at pulling the strings of your emotions, often leaving you entangled in a web of confusion and guilt. Unmasking their attitudes requires a keen awareness of their manipulative tactics and a commitment to breaking free from their emotional clutches. Emotional resilience building. Emotional resilience is key when dealing with manipulators. Recognizing the signs early on allows you to detach emotionally, assert your boundaries, and regain control over your emotional well-being. Vanishing act. Ghosters specialize in the art of disappearing without a trace, leaving you wondering about the status of your relationship. Their attitudes involve a lack of consideration for your feelings as they vanish without offering any closure. Closure and moving on. Dealing with ghosters necessitates finding closure within yourself. Recognizing their attitudes involves acknowledging their inability to communicate and moving forward with the understanding that not all relationships are meant to be long-lasting. Facilitating exploitation. Enablers play a pivotal role in the dynamics of exploitative relationships, often supporting and enabling the actions of users and takers. Understanding their attitudes involves recognizing the subtle ways in which they contribute to the cycle of exploitation. Break the cycle. Breaking free from the influence of an enabler requires self-awareness and a commitment to establishing firm boundaries. Identifying the attitudes of enablers empowers you to navigate relationships with a clear understanding of the dynamics at play. Strings of control master puppeteers are adept at pulling the strings of those around them, orchestrating situations to their advantage. Unraveling their attitudes involves dissecting their need for control and recognizing the subtle ways they manipulate those in their sphere. Regaining autonomy. Regaining autonomy in the face of a master puppeteer demands assertiveness and a strategic approach. Understanding their attitudes equips you with the tools to resist manipulation and maintain control over your own decisions. Holding emotional hostage. Emotional blackmailers use emotional manipulation to coerce and control, holding your emotions hostage for personal gain. Decoding their attitudes involves understanding the tactics they employ and fortifying yourself against their attempts to exploit your feelings. Assertiveness as a shield. Assertiveness serves as a powerful shield when dealing with emotional blackmailers. Recognizing their attitudes enables you to stand firm, communicate your boundaries clearly, and safeguard your emotional well-being. Competitive exploitation. Disguised competitors view relationships as a battlefield where they must emerge victorious, often exploiting others to elevate their own status. Identifying their attitudes involves discerning between genuine camaraderie and their covert competitive tactics. Fostering collaboration. Fostering genuine collaboration in the face of disguised competitors requires open communication and a commitment to mutual growth. Understanding their attitudes allows you to navigate professional and personal relationships with a discerning eye. Unaware manipulation. Puppets in denial unwittingly become instruments of manipulation, perpetuating exploitative behaviors without full awareness. Unraveling their attitudes involves helping them recognize the impact of their actions and fostering personal growth. Empathy and education. Approaching puppets in denial with empathy and education is essential for breaking the cycle of exploitation. Understanding their attitudes enables you to contribute positively to their personal development while protecting yourself from further harm. Relentless pursuit of gain. Chronic exploiters possess an insatiable appetite for gain, consistently exploiting others without remorse or consideration. Unveiling their attitudes involves understanding the recurring patterns of exploitation and developing strategies to protect yourself from their relentless pursuits. Establishing firm boundaries. Dealing with chronic exploiters necessitates the establishment of unwavering boundaries. Recognizing their attitudes empowers you to assertively communicate your limits, preventing them from perpetually taking advantage of your resources and goodwill. Tuning in and out at will, selective listeners engage in conversations with a one-sided agenda, choosing when to tune in and when to disregard your thoughts and feelings. Understanding their attitudes involves navigating the challenges of communication and developing strategies to ensure your voice is heard. Effective communication strategies. Dealing with selective listeners requires adopting effective communication strategies. Recognizing their attitudes enables you to tailor your communication style, ensuring that your messages are conveyed in a manner that captures their attention and fosters understanding. Undermining from within, subtle saboteurs operate clandestinely, undermining your efforts and success without overt confrontation. Identifying their attitudes involves recognizing the subtle signs of sabotage and fortifying yourself against their covert tactics, strengthening resilience. Strengthening resilience in the face of subtle saboteurs demands self-awareness and a commitment to personal growth. Understanding their attitudes equips you to navigate professional and personal environments with a heightened sense of discernment. Sapping vitality energy drainers go beyond emotional exhaustion. They sap the very vitality from your life. Recognizing their attitudes involves understanding the subtle ways they drain your energy and implementing strategies to protect yourself from their pervasive influence. Building emotional fortitude. Building emotional fortitude is essential when dealing with energy drainers. Recognizing their attitudes empowers you to cultivate resilience, surround yourself with positivity, and minimize the impact of their draining behaviors on your overall well-being.